Welcome to the deep dive. Today, AI. It's everywhere you look these days, but we're going beyond just the buzzword. We're really going to explore how AI is changing the game when it comes to how we learn, how we create, and even how we watch sports.
It's really incredible to see AI, becoming so integrated into our lives and so quickly too. Like we've gone from these kind of background algorithms to AI that's out there writing articles and making art and, even commentating on live sports.
It's kind of mind-blowing when you think about it. And speaking of information, let's talk about Wikipedia. Everybody uses Wikipedia for like everything, but what happens when AI starts writing the articles we're all reading? There's this study from Princeton that found that over 5% of all the new articles on Wikipedia are actually being written with the help of AI.
And it makes you wonder, right? Like what kind of articles are we talking about here? Is it like niche topics or is it stuff that everyone's reading?
Yeah, exactly. So it turns out AI is contributing across the board. Researchers are finding AI-written articles on just about everything, from science and history to even like pop culture. I mean, it's not just filling in the gaps here. It's like actively shaping what we all know.
It really is.
That's a lot to think about, but doesn't Wikipedia have like, human editors? Shouldn't they be able to catch any mistakes or bias in AI-generated content?
Yeah, you would think so, right? But the sheer volume of content being created with AI's assistance is just massive. It's really hard for those human editors to keep up, and that's why there's this debate growing about whether AI-generated content should be like clearly labeled so readers know what they're looking at and can make their own decisions about, how much to trust it.
Transparency is key. But what about the impact on education? I mean, students use Wikipedia all the time.
Yeah.
Could this lead to like, misinformation spreading?
Yeah, there's definitely a real concern there. Some experts see AI as a way to actually make knowledge more accessible, though. Like, imagine if AI could translate those super complex articles into, tons of different languages or create summaries that make the information easier to understand. It could be really beneficial, especially for students.
That's an interesting perspective.
Yeah,
It's like two sides of the same coin, right?
exactly.
It can make things better, but it could also create problems.
Right. And that's why it's so important to be aware of both the potential and the risks.
Totally agree. So it seems like AI's role in Wikipedia is this like double-edged sword.
Yeah.
It has the power to both like enhance and challenge the way we understand knowledge.
Absolutely. AI is forcing us to rethink how we approach information and how we can use these powerful tools while also making sure that what we're reading is accurate and trustworthy.
Yeah, it's a lot to consider for sure. Okay, ready for something completely different? Google just added this AI-powered clip art generator to Google Docs. It's like having your own like personal artist right there in your document. You just type in whatever you want, say like a whimsical robot holding a paintbrush, and boom,
Nice.
it creates a custom image for you.
It's pretty amazing, right? And it's a game changer for people like me who can't draw to save their
I'm
lives.
terrible at art, so this would be incredible. But it does make you wonder, if AI is creating the image, who owns the copyright? And is it even considered art in like the traditional sense?
Those are some of the really big questions people are trying to figure out right now. The whole legal side of AI-generated content is still being worked out. Like some people think the user who types in the prompt should own the copyright, but others say it should be the AI developer or even the AI system itself. It's a whole new world out there.
It's not just about creating art, it's like redefining what art even is.
Yeah, and it's really fascinating to see how human creativity and these technological advances are starting to kind of blend together.
Okay, so we've talked about AI in writing and art. Now let's jump into something totally different, sports.
Mm.
ESPN has this new thing called FactTSS, which is an AI avatar that does 24/7 sports commentary and analysis. So first of all, what exactly is an AI avatar, and how does it actually work?
Well, so it's basically like a digital personality, right? And it's powered by AI. So FactTS is trained on like tons and tons of sports data,
Hmm.
player stats, historical game info, even real-time game footage. And all of that lets it, provide commentary, predict outcomes, offer insights, and even interact with viewers, in a way that kind of feels like a conversation.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. So this FactTS AI can keep up with the game in real time and react to what's happening. Does that mean human commentators are going to be out of a job?
Well, that's a good question. FactTies can give you this nonstop flow of info and analysis, even during commercial breaks, or when the human commentators need to take a breather. But some people say that AI will never be able to replace that human element you get with sports broadcasting. I mean, there's something special about live sports commentary, right? You know, those unexpected moments, the commentators' reactions, their little jokes, the way they connect with the audience, that's hard to replicate with AI.
Yeah, those are the things that make watching sports so fun.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe facts could be like a tool for the human commentators, right?
Right.
Like give them real-time data and insights that could make their analysis even better.
That's a great point. I could see that working really well. Like the AI could provide the stats and the historical context while the human commentator focuses on, the emotional side of the game and connects with the viewers on a personal level. That could be a really cool combination.
That would be awesome. AI and humans working together to create a better viewing experience. It's kind of like what we were saying about Wikipedia. AI isn't necessarily replacing humans. It's more like expanding what we can do and opening up new possibilities.
Exactly. And that's true for so many different fields too. Like think about healthcare, for example. AI could help doctors diagnose diseases earlier or help scientists develop new treatments. It's all about using AI to improve people's lives.
That's pretty amazing to think about, all the good that AI could do. But I have to admit, I do have some concerns too. Like, what about the potential for AI to be used for bad things? Could it be used to manipulate people or spread misinformation even more easily?
Those are definitely valid concerns, and it's really important that we think about them carefully. As AI gets more advanced, we need to set some clear ethical guidelines and regulations to make sure it's being used responsibly. Transparency is super important. We need to be able to understand how these AI systems are making decisions and make sure they align with our values.
It's like we're at this crossroads, right? We have this incredible technology that could do so much good,
Yeah,
but we have to be aware of the risks too.
exactly. It's about finding that balance. I really believe that we can find the right way forward, though. We need to be talking about this openly and working together. Technologists, policymakers, ethicists, the public. Everyone needs to be part of this conversation to make sure AI is developed and used in a way that benefits everyone.
I love that. It's not about being afraid of AI. It's about shaping it and making sure it's used ethically and responsibly.
Totally. And it's also important to remember that AI is still pretty new. We're learning more about it all the time, what it can do, what it can't do. This is a conversation that's going to keep evolving, and it's so important for all of us to stay informed and engaged.
Speaking of staying informed, you mentioned AI's potential in healthcare earlier. Can you tell us a little more about that? I'm really interested in how AI could help doctors and researchers.
It's a really exciting area. AI is already being used to look at medical images like X-rays and MRIs and spot things that human doctors might miss. It's also being used to create personalized treatment plans based on someone's genes and lifestyle.
Wow, that sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie.
I know, right?
But it's happening right now.
It is, and it's only going to get more advanced from here. As AI research keeps going, we can expect to see some really groundbreaking stuff in healthcare. Like, imagine AI-powered robots doing surgery with incredible precision or AI systems that can predict and stop outbreaks of diseases before they even happen.
That's mind-blowing. But with all these advances, it's important to keep the human element in mind too, right? And we don't want to lose that personal touch in healthcare or rely on machines to make all the important decisions.
That's such a good point. Technology should help human experts, not replace them. The goal is to have this teamwork between doctors and AI systems where they work together to provide the best possible care.
Yeah, it's about finding that right balance. Again, using the power of AI while keeping the empathy and compassion that are so important in healthcare.
I couldn't agree more. And that idea applies to other areas too. We need to remember that AI is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or for bad. It's up to us to decide how it's developed and make sure it aligns with our values and our vision for a better world.
It's a responsibility we all share, don't you think? We all have a part to play in deciding what the future of AI looks like.
Absolutely. Whether you're a tech person, a politician, a business leader, or just a concerned citizen, every voice matters in this conversation. The decisions we make today will have a huge impact on the world of tomorrow.
So what can our listeners do to get involved and make a difference?
There are lots of ways to contribute. You can start by staying informed about what's happening in the world of AI and talking to people about the ethical and societal implications. You can support organizations that are working to promote responsible AI development and advocate for policies that protect our rights and values.
Those are all great ideas.
Yeah.
And don't underestimate the power of just talking to your friends and family about this stuff. The more people who are aware, the better chance we have of creating a future where AI benefits everyone.
I totally agree. Every conversation, every action, no matter how small, can help create a more positive and equitable AI-powered future.
So as we keep going deeper into this world of AI, Let's remember that the future isn't set in stone. We're creating it right now, and we have the power to make it a future where technology makes human life better in meaningful and compassionate ways.
Beautifully said. And to our listeners, I encourage you to be open to the possibilities of AI with open hearts and open minds. There will be challenges and opportunities ahead, and we're all in this together.
It's funny, because as we're talking about all of this, I keep thinking about the early days of the internet. People were kind of excited but also scared about what it could mean for the world.
Totally. I mean, some people saw the internet as this amazing way to connect with people and share information, but others were worried about, like, misinformation and privacy and maybe even people becoming more isolated.
Right. And it's interesting how those same worries are coming up again now with AI.
Yeah, it's like history repeating itself in a way. But just like the internet, it ended up changing society in ways we could never have imagined. And I think AI has that same power to transform things. It's up to us to make sure it's used for good, though.
Exactly. It's not about just accepting whatever happens with AI. We need to be involved in shaping how it fits into our lives and our society.
Right. It's not just about the technology itself, but about our values and our ethics and how we choose to use it. We have to be intentional about creating a future where AI benefits everybody.
So it's collective effort then. We need everyone to be on board.
Absolutely. We need open conversations and collaboration and a willingness to learn from each other. We need the tech people working with the ethicists, the policymakers, listening to the concerns of everyday people, and everyone just willing to, really engage with these tough questions.
It seems like we're at this really important moment then, a chance to shape the future of AI in a way that reflects our hopes for a better world.
Yeah.
I mean, what does that world look like to you? What kind of future do you imagine?
Hmm. That's a good question. I imagine a future where AI helps us solve some of the biggest problems we're facing. Like, imagine AI helping us fight climate change or figure out new sources of sustainable energy or even, create personalized healthcare solutions that everyone can access. I picture a future where AI helps us be more creative and connect with each other in more meaningful ways. A future where it just makes life better overall.
That's a beautiful vision. But how do we get there? What are some concrete things we can do to make sure AI is used for good and benefits all of humanity?
Well, I think it starts with education and awareness. We need to help people understand AI, make it less mysterious and empower them to be a part of the conversation. And we also need to invest in research and development that puts ethical considerations and human well-being front and center.
So education, engagement, and ethical development. What about regulation? Do we need stricter rules for how AI can be used?
Yeah, regulation is definitely important too. We need some kind of framework that encourages innovation, but also protects us from potential harm. That includes things like making sure our data is kept private, preventing bias in AI systems, and figuring out how to deal with the impact AI might have on jobs and the economy.
It's definitely complicated, but it's good to know there are so many people working to make sure AI is developed and used responsibly. It feels like we're just at the beginning of something really amazing.
It does. And it's a journey we're all taking together. As we learn more about AI and what it can do, let's remember that we have a say in where things go from here. Let's choose to create a future where AI makes us more human, more compassionate, and helps us build a world where everyone can thrive.
That's a powerful message. And to everyone listening, we hope this deep dive has made you curious and inspired you to join the conversation. The future of AI is in our hands.
It is. So stay informed, stay engaged, and let's work together to shape a future where technology makes human life better in positive and meaningful ways.
Absolutely. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep diving deep into the world around us.